Back.
You
Trying
don't
to
worry, you are inch close, so
I
don't
know.
worry.
Yeah, but it's almost been a month to that as well. And that was also through a job board. So ever since that happened, I'm like now applying Vinesh's LinkedIn strategy since then, since the rejection. Yeah.
So yeah, we're just live on LinkedIn and other platforms. So I just wanted to welcome everyone. So thanks for joining this session again. I mean, I see a lot of regulars. Welcome Arkin, Deepika, Kriti, Suchi, Paulvin. I think Manoj and Kavya are new to this. So thanks for being a part of this again. So it's been a while since we did this last time. So I'm giving the ball to you. Just share what's been happening in the last week, anything interesting or anything not interesting, anything at all. Please share and let us know what's happening.
So who will start? Let me start.
You're always a starter.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys, hi all. My name is Arkin, and I landed here in December. After going through this struggle for 2 months, I got an opportunity to work with Australian Unity for a contract position for 2 months as a procurement coordinator. And as the situation, due to this COVID-19, they're not that willing to extend the contract as they are also struggling with this situation.
Yeah.
So again, the contract has been completed and now applying for the jobs for the procurement field as well in logistics. And yes, couple of interviews has been lined up in next week, and very much excited about the interview with Amazon.
Oh, that's good.
So great, yeah.
Oh, well done.
So that's great so far.
That's a good introduction. Who's next? No one?
Hi, Vinesh.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Hi,
I'm
Shyam.
here. Apparently, I'm like joining from my phone. I'm not sure why my microphone is not working and my laptop does not have a webcam. So I'm really sorry about that. I
that's all right.
hope you guys remember I came around in March for the meetup. I got a job in KPMG.
Oh yeah, I remember. You came for the
wonderful.
network walk and moved to Sydney.
Yes, I had moved to Sydney.
Yeah.
I remember Arkin. I met Arkin there. I remember.
Yeah. How are you, Mike?
Yeah. Not too bad actually. The weather here is better as compared to Melbourne.
Exactly. Yeah. True. Very
good.
true.
Yeah. It's not really like very hot here, but it's like 16, 17, and which is like pretty bearable. And you don't need the heaters in the night at all. Like, you just need a jacket and that's it.
That's good for you.
So just like Arkin, I'll brief you about my situation. So I'm still working with KPMG to be honest. But what exactly has happened because of the whole COVID-19, my contract was for 6 months, and now KPMG says that they might not extend my contract, and I'm again looking for a job now. Thankfully, I've got at least like about 3 months of local experience, so hopefully it helps. I'm not sure how much it would help, but the market is picking up. I would say
it's picking up. Yeah.
It's picking up a bit, and like places are like opening now. So let's see.
Yep. Thanks for sharing that. Good to hear from you again, Shyam. Welcome. We have a lot of new faces. I mean, welcome Archita. Hi. Welcome Fina. Welcome Lovraj. Manoj, thanks for turning on the video. Welcome Reshma. And welcome Tarun as well. So, so we're just having a random conversation as in what's been happening in the past week, to share. Whether it's interesting or not, it doesn't really matter. We just, you can even call it as venting your frustration or whatever it is you want to do. But just to have, just to break the ice. Yeah. Just share. Anyone can share anything that they want. Please go ahead.
Hello, guys. I'm Paulin Matthew. I'm currently located in Newcastle, which is in near to Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
So my background is in electrical and instrumentation. I was working. I came here in Australia on January last week.
Yeah.
Till then, from the date, I was looking for a few jobs in my background, but the situation was bad. But right now, I see more opportunities in projects. More projects are kicking on, like they're starting. I can see that.
That's good.
So few interviews are aligned, but it was aligned on May first week, but maybe the procedures are a bit delayed due to the present situation. So hopefully something will come up. And one more thing is that I'm applying around 2 jobs every day. Usually I'm not used to get feedbacks, but now I'm getting feedbacks like rejection feedback. That is good for like at least they are looking onto my CV. That is a good thing to see. So I wish Sham all the best, and Arkin all the best for your job hunt, because you have something to show in your resume now. You have an Australian experience, so don't worry. Keep fighting, keep sending CVs. You will find it very soon. Okay, so all the best to rest of all. Bye.
It looks like you're leaving. Are you leaving?
No.
It sounded like a farewell speech for some reason. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, it's good to hear that the market is slowly picking up. There's a lot of activity happening out there. People are reaching out, and the market is slowly coming up, which is good sign. So it's important that you are top of things. I mean, it doesn't mean that because the market is up, you will get more calls. No, it's not like that. Keep in mind that the competition will also be probably 2-3 times higher than what it used to be, because there is more people looking for work, not just us who were already in the market. So just keep that in mind. But thanks for sharing that, Paulin, and you can leave if you want to. I think you've said whatever you want to. Yeah. So yeah, who else? Shika, how are you? I mean, I saw Shika joining, but is she still there? No. Like, yeah. How's your cold and how's your fever now? We can't hear you.
Can't see you either.
I can see her, but I can't.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yeah. I just removed my headphones. I'm not sure what happened. So, how are you doing? I mean, how everyone is doing?
Everyone's good.
Yeah, so like I had a pretty bad week last because I had a very bad muscular pain. Then I had I'm asthmatic, so like I had the breathing issues as well. Luckily, I don't have COVID.
Did you test?
Yes,
Okay,
I don't
good.
have.
Yeah.
So again, I was very sad because OMG, like I have that, but it didn't happen at all. So I'm very happy that I don't have COVID.
Okay.
And then, like as Paulvin said, like yes, the market is being picking up. There are, I mean, if there is anyone graduate like me, there are opportunities. Give a call so that they know that your CV is there. They know your name. They know like such a person Shika is there. So it's very important that you apply as well as you give a call, so that you would get a reply. May or you not be selected, or like they won't call you right back, but definitely your name will be picked up. And today itself I applied, and they didn't respond to me at the moment, but they called me, gave me a call back and said this is how the procedure is gonna be, and you would be notified soon.
That's really good. Thanks for sharing that, Shika. I'm glad that you're feeling better. You already sound better than last week, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I was really bad. Like I was not able to talk at all. Like I would be coughing in between.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Who's next?
I'll go.
Go for it,
First of all, it's very nice to see people from last week. And I want to thank Kriti. She provided me with one of her contacts. And I've been talking to Justpreet Kriti.
Good to know.
Yeah, getting some guidance. Other than that, my internship is officially over. That means I'm officially going to, start on my job hunt. And it's good to know from all of you that the market is picking up. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was just waiting for someone else to pick the baton, but yeah, you had to give the baton to someone. Who's picking it up now?
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Tarun,
Hi,
and
Tarun.
this is the first time I've joined this meeting.
Welcome.
And I'm actually currently pursuing a Master's of Cybersecurity, and I'm from Delhi, and looking out for opportunities, internships, part-time works, and all.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for joining in, Tarun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Give the chance to newbies. They should talk.
Yep,
They should
newcomers, if you're comfortable, have a conversation. No? Kriti, you want to go?
Yeah, I was wanting to give newcomers a chance, but
Yeah.
I'll go. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kriti. I'm based in Melbourne. I am a designer, and I've been coming to these catch-ups since a while now, and it's been inspiring me to create content on LinkedIn and trying to find other ways, trying to target that 30%, no, the 70% of the job market that's not, the 70% that's not advertised. So I'm just changing the strategy and trying to reach out to people within Melbourne and trying to network.
Awesome.
Some benefits that I've faced in the couple of weeks since I started getting active on LinkedIn, that I'm becoming more visible, and I think visibility and presence in the design, I'm gaining visibility and presence in the design community, not just Melbourne, but internationally as well. So it helps, when people start getting to know you, when your work is being followed. So I think that's some progress.
Yeah, that's really good. Anyone else would like to share something, or probably I can kick off? I think we'll kick off rather than going ahead with the introductions. So again, welcome to all of you. I think there are a few newcomers in this session, and I mean, this is a casual 30-minute catch-up, just a place for everyone to catch up. And fortunately, we've been doing it for some time, that there have been a few good relationships building out here. So if you see some people laughing out at each other or pulling each other's legs, it's just because they've been talking to each other in the last 2 months in this platform, nowhere else. They don't know each other before that. We have probably not seen each other ever. I think I've met Arkin once and Shyam once, but otherwise I haven't met, okay, Shilpa too. I remember meeting Shilpa as well. So that's it. We haven't met each other. So we're just a random bunch of people trying to have some fun during these crazy times. So first, not request or not a rule. I mean, first thing that I usually say is this, especially to the newcomers, try to keep your video on. The reason is, even though the restrictions are relaxing, next couple of months, interviews, meetings, catch-ups, meetups, coffee catch-ups, whatever it is, will continue being virtual. So this is probably a platform for you to be comfortable with it. There's no one judging you, no one looking at you, no one staring at you, no one checking how good you are or how bad you are. So just a platform to make yourself comfortable, plus to check if the technology works correct. Just like Shyam said, his headphones were not working, or Shika said her headphones are not working. And if that happens in an interview, it's a very, very bad thing. I wouldn't say very bad thing, but you might panic. It's not really a bad thing, but you might panic and lose that confidence. So it's very important that you're confident about that. So that was a general rule. So because there are so many people today, we'll stick to the first game that we are playing, not the elevator pitch or not the introduction thing, because it might take a long time. So let's play this first game, initial game. For those who know it, well and good. For those who don't, we are going to rate who has the best video today. Who looks best in this whole setup today? Right. So go ahead and put in the chat whoever you think has the best video. People who have turned off their video, if you can turn on, you can participate as well. So go ahead and rate it. Oh, Wasim is in. I didn't see Wasim coming in. Okay. Wasim is voting for Paulwin. Good. Paulwin, 2.
3, 4.
Nah, just 2. 3. Okay. You have 3 now.
I think we should remove Paulvin also from the voting list.
Yeah. Who else? Oh, okay. Paulvin. Okay. Archita is going for Kriti. Arkin is going for Deepika. Good. Paulvin. By the way, I didn't specifically mention that I'm out of this competition. So if you want, you can tell me. Yeah. Who else? No one? Vinesh. Okay. Thanks, Manoj.
I vote for myself then. Okay.
Paulvin for Paulvin. Tarun goes for Vinesh. Hi, Deepika. Good to see you after long. I think you guys know each other. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paulvin. Okay, I think so. Paulvin wins the race today. I see. Okay, so coming back to question to you, why do you think Paulvin has a better video today? Or I think Kriti has some votes as well. So let's critique why Paulvin and Kriti has a good video today compared to the rest of us.
Today his face is clearly seen. Usually there used to be a huge sunlight behind him.
Yes.
I shut that side.
Yeah, so I think Paulvin changed his background. I mean, he closed the curtain and you have a light in front of you. So that's making his face more visible. Good lesson. What else? What else is making? I mean, people who haven't seen Paulvin or Kriti bet earlier, why do you think you voted for Paulvin and Kriti?
And again, he is looking straight to the laptop. I mean, it's not down or up. I mean, it's a clear, straight view.
Yeah. So the point that Shiga is making there is, it's important that your camera is on eye level. It shouldn't be too low, or it shouldn't be too high. Just to give an example, I don't have an example. Okay, maybe Deepika is a close enough example. Her camera is low, so you're kind of looking up to her, right? You're not at the eye level. And same thing, it's bad if your camera is too high. That's bad as well. So it's important that your camera level is at your eye level. And I think Paulvin has a decent angle, so that's good as well.
I think it has a proper proportion to the entire thing.
Yes.
It's maintaining equal distance from the laptop screen. And it's got a proportion to it. That's why.
Yeah. So I particularly like the aspect ratio, or whatever you can call of it, and his background as well. His background isn't boring. I mean, you always had a good background, Paulvin, but that light used to blind us and we couldn't see it. But now that you have that light and balance, that background is always good. For example, mine is not particularly interesting. There is a plant over there, but that's it. It's not very particularly interesting. A lot of us has white backgrounds. Akin, Archita, for example, Suchi has a different color, so it actually looks better. But in general, we have white backgrounds, which is generally boring. Not that it's bad, but if you want to put a message across to the other person, just like Deepika has some sticky notes, and I think that's some project management or those kind of stuff, it kind of gives a different picture of what is it that you're painting to the other person. So background can be equally important as well. What other reason?
I guess just Paulvin's background and everything gives a good vibe, good energy.
Yeah.
So
it looks like a complete picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyone else?
It looked like he set it up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I set it up just especially for this meetup.
Yeah. He's getting competitive now.
And definitely following your idea, Vinesh, with like flower in one corner and the TV in the background.
Yeah. So
this is my makeshift background, not my usual.
Okay, some irrelevant stuff that you think that is important. Do you think dressing is important here?
Unless it's like a proper interview, I don't think it would matter in a virtual coffee catch-up. If it's an interview, I think one should sit in a formal dress up.
Yeah. So again, you don't have to be super formal. I mean, unless your job demands it, you don't have to wear a suit and tie and stuff like that. Be semi-casual. I mean, I like what Kriti has done. I like what Paulvin has done. It's casual. It's not too obvious that you want to do something. You're not with a tie and stuff like that. And even of course, grooming is up to an extent important, if especially if you're to make this thing look like this, it takes time, especially during these hard times, so that is important. That makes you feel that it gives a fresh feeling. I mean, I always say, when I look at Kriti, I see some freshness out there. I mean, either it's a smile or the way she has put up the light or her background or whatever it is. There's some freshness into it. It could be the camera quality as well. For example, Archita's camera quality or lighting or something is bad. I mean, look at her, the texture or the color composition is different compared to Kriti. Just look Kriti and Archita's side by side. Kriti has a lot of colors on her. Archita doesn't have colors. It could be a camera issue as well, or it could be the lighting as such. But yeah. So that kind of brings energy to me as well. That's why I said, when I look at Kriti, I mean, I get that energy immediately. And what are you using, Kriti? Are you using a laptop? I think I asked this last time.
Laptop.
Laptop?
Yeah,
okay.
it's my laptop.
So I think
and
she
natural light.
Yeah, natural light is good. So I think you have a really good laptop camera and probably a good internet connection as well. That's what. Not saying you're not good or you're not beautiful. That's not what I meant. but that's adding to what's happening around you. So that's the reason you got more votes over there. So these are just general guidelines on how you can make yourself look better on video. Your voice clarity is also important. If you use a headphone, generally the quality of voice is better. If you use a laptop, it can cause issues. Sometimes it causes echoes, it goes back and forth and stuff like that. So it's always good to keep in mind those things. So the way we do this thing is we usually have a 10-minute initial conversation. Then we just play this game. And then I pick up a couple of questions from the Google form that I've shared in the meetup description and have a conversation around this. I'm not getting many questions recently, but I think I got one from Kriti. I'm hoping that is you, Kriti, or different Kriti?
Yeah,
you,
that's
Kriti.
me.
Okay, so the question is, can you share how networking helped you in your journey? Now, before answering that question, which can go quite long and I can talk for hours and hours, is everyone interested to hear about that? Otherwise, it'll probably be a repeat of what I always do.
No, you can come up with any recent story. We can,
maybe. I'm not seeing many yeses.
I have by heart to the entire script.
Sorry?
I knew the entire script of
okay.
that.
Yeah, Shiga is probably bored of hearing that story.
There are a lot of yeses, Vinesh.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, so I'll okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't scroll down the chat, so that's a reason, maybe. So I'll focus on the networking aspects of this because Kriti especially asked on networking. What Shika has heard is probably my journey here on job search and stuff like that. So networking, I'll start right from the beginning. I am an awkward networker. I am awkward socially. I hate talking to strangers. This is my label. I know that it is, and to prove that. When I was job searching, it took me 8 months to find a work. And in those 8 months, I did not go out for a single coffee catch-up. I did not go for a single meetup. Hell, I didn't even know what a meetup is. And I rejected an offer by a recruiter to have beer with him. So this kind of puts a benchmark on what I was with regards to networking, right? So something changed eventually. I mean, I think this happened after I secured a role. So what happened is, again, this is coming to the point that how I got into networking, right? What changes? Once I got a job, I started sharing a few tips and stuff like that. You all have learned a lot of things from these catch-ups, how your video should be, for example, how your LinkedIn should be, how posting on LinkedIn can help you. I started sharing tips like this, nothing rocket science, what your LinkedIn headline should look like, what your photo should look like, how should your work experience look like, how should your activities should look like. And it started getting slowly started getting attention. And like I said last week, I love attention. I crave attention. I mean, all humans love attention, and that kind of pushed me to do more. And I think after 2 months of doing this, I wanted to push myself because I knew LinkedIn has its limitations unless you meet people one-on-one, and unless you're comfortable with that, you can't take it to the next level. So in December 2018, I think, yeah, December 2018, I made a post on LinkedIn saying, hey, would you guys like to catch up on a public place, some park or food court or somewhere like that, just to have a conversation. We can probably help each other on what's happening in a job search, what you can probably do and stuff like that. And that post got really good attention, and 39 people said they're interested to this. So that's when this got real. And then I realized I can't do this on a food court or a public park. It's not possible to do it. And I figured out that I could book a room in a public library over here. It has a small cost attached to it. And I booked a room. We all gathered. It was a good day. It was a good place. It was at Library at the Docks. The view there is really good. And we just gathered in a room for 2 hours and we talked. So that's how it started. I had no idea what to share. No one had any idea what to expect out of it, but that really clicked. What happened is most of the people just shared their story, what was happening to them, what has been working for them, and it was very casual conversation, but that really clicked, and that really was impactful for the whole community. In fact, I probably remember each one of them who joined or participated in that first event. That first crush is always important kind of thing. So that first group is always important. I still keep good touch with them. Then I decided to make this as a monthly event, formalize the structure, bring more stories in, and that's how networking started for me. I mean, I wouldn't go and talk to anyone. My secret was I had something to share. If you want, come and talk to me. I can share for hours and hours and hours. But otherwise, if I had to initiate a conversation with someone, it was always hard for me. And it was not like someone would invite me to give a talk on this or this or this or this. Again, I organized my own meetup and I talked in my own meetup. That's how I grew my confidence, right? So it's not like I'm still not a good networker. Just that if you ask me a question about LinkedIn or job search or anything of that sort, I have the knowledge to talk for hours and hours and hours. That's where I think networking has come to me. Even if it's for network walk, for those who have been to my network walks, I think Arkin and Sham has been part of it. I think Shilpa has also been part of one of them. If you come, I usually come 10 minutes in advance to the location. And if you come at that time, you'll see I'm super stressed and super awkward. I'll mostly be playing on my phone. I'll be checking if someone is sending a message or stuff like that. So that start is always hard for me. But once the ball rolls, I'm completely into it. So again, what has the impact of networking been for me? It's been I don't know the right word. It's been huge. It's been massive. 2 years before, if you ask me, I was a typical software developer who does my job best behind a screen. I hate talking to people. Talking to strangers is completely out of the picture. But today I actually enjoyed, and it has opened a lot of doors for me, as in what I can do. It has made me understand how humans work and what is it that actually makes you happy, that there are some values for each individual, which is always different, that makes an individual happy, and how to bring the best out of them, right? So for example, if what's happening for each of you who has been attending these catch-ups consistently is they're figuring out something about themselves and they're enjoying it. So for example, Paulvin said he never... Is Paulvin still here? I can't see him. Okay, I think Paulvin left. So
he had to leave. Yeah.
Oh, did he message? Okay, I'm missing the chats. Okay. So what Paulvin said is same thing. He was bad at talking, he was bad at networking, but now he's kind of enjoying it. If you come to this group, he is the one who jumps at people and starts that conversation and brings all that stuff. Archita loved writing, but she had a roadblock somewhere. We just had a couple of conversations. She jumped into this, and she's kind of now in that mode where she'll keep writing. It's everything is in you. You just don't realize what it is that you actually love and what it is that actually makes things happen. We are stuck in that infinite loop. In this particular case, job search, where only getting a job matters and everything else doesn't matter, and that's where everything goes down. So whatever I am today is because I networked, I talked to different people, I got different perspectives, and I opened myself to the fact that every person is different. The way every person thinks is different. Respect that, and if you can guide that person to say, hey, you have to probably do that, and if that person accepts it, well and good. But if it doesn't, nothing much we can do about it. So in 10 minutes, that's a summary, Kriti.
Thank you, Manish.
No worries at all. So before we conclude, any quick questions at all?
Yeah, it was really good. I had heard a story about your job search, not about the networking. It was really good. Yeah.
Glad that I could differentiate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I will remember this one. So I had a question. So I used to post things. So whenever I post contents, I make sure that it adds some value. I mean, generate something. But one of my connections, he recently messaged me saying that it will be good if you post technical things. So I was like, see, this is what I have been heard of, but I can give you a better suggestion. I'll ask other people and I'll get back to you as well. So that's why I'm asking this question. So is it really important that you
What's
post
your objective, Shika?
and then do something that add values?
No, what's your objective of posting on LinkedIn? What do you want to get out of it?
Yeah, to make myself visible.
Yes. So there your personal brand is important. If you want to give out a picture that you're a very technical person, then you have to do technical stuff. I haven't posted anything technical for about 2 years. Right? Probably the last time I did it was when I was job searching, because I thought that's the right thing then. But if I put something technical, would people really listen to it? Would people really see it? Or I don't think so. But if you want to paint that technical picture, you have to have a mix of both. You have to have a mix of whatever you think adds value to people and technical stuff as well. But again, all that depends on what are you trying to get out of these LinkedIn posts, right? And a few things. I mean, I've been seeing your posts, Shika, for some time. One main difference between post of Shika and post of Paulvin that I see is you're very focused on giving value. Your message is really good, but you're probably not using the right not language. You're not probably manipulating LinkedIn to get most out of it. That's the right way to put it. For example, you don't use hashtags. You don't tag anyone. Right? Paulvin was saying, Paulvin shared my meetup post yesterday, and usually shared posts do not get much visibility, but his post has over 30,000 views now, and this is just less than 24 hours, which is surprising for me as well. But the way he wrote his story and the way he used those hashtags made that happen. So if you think you have to just give value, yes, that's an absolutely right thing to do. There's nothing wrong in that, but you're not making the most of the platform that is out there, right? So that makes it tricky. So you should have a balance between how much you have to spam and how much you have to abide to the rules of LinkedIn so that your message actually goes out. That's key over there. So that was just a suggestion. If your content is really valuable, tag people in this. Don't spam tag people, don't spam without, if you say, if you post something technical and if you tag me in that post, I really don't want to see what it is. I mean, I can't add anything to it. I can't add any value to it. Why would I want to see that, right? So but if it's something specific, if you have a question for me, feel free to tag. I'll be happy to share any insights on that.
I've got something to share on this. So, uh, in my understanding, there are two parts to a LinkedIn post. One is obviously the content, whatever you're writing, and the other is playing around with the LinkedIn algorithm.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the content, I've been reading this book, Everybody Writes. So we can talk about that later. But what it says is writing is easy when it's authentic to you and what you want to share. And especially if you've just started writing, it would be easier for you to share your journey than offer advice.
Yeah.
So, Shikha, I guess whatever resonates with you, you have the right to write it on LinkedIn. And if somebody questions it, you can justify that this is something that I wanted to share genuinely. So that's that.
Yeah.
And in terms of LinkedIn algorithm, I'm not at it, but yeah, definitely hashtags do help, and the timing of the post also. So that was my last week's question. Like, should there be a specific time when we need to post? I guess it depends on your audience.
Yeah. So your core target should be to add value. But if you want that your voice to be reached to a wider audience, you have to make use of the algorithm and see what works best out there. Do not spam it with hashtags. 3 to 4 hashtags is what I recommend. Do not spray hashtags all of your text, which makes that reading the text a bit less enjoyable. Don't do that. Don't tag hundreds of people on the tag. I mean, this is what I personally believe as well. If you see my post, I usually try to keep it clean. I'm not saying my way is the best way, but I try to keep it clean so that there's a balance between content and the algorithm side of things. So, yeah. Any other questions? No? All good? Okay, I think then we'll wrap up this session. Just as a reminder, this Thursday, that's in 2 days, I have my main meetup coming up. It's not the weekly thing that happens. That's a 3-hour full-blown networking session, and we have a couple of recruiters and coaches and the panelists as well. So you'll get to network a lot. I think Shika was part of it last time. If you want any information of how it works or how it looks, check with her. It's a really good session if you're looking for a job and if you need more clarity on what it is that exactly happens out there. So that's coming up this Thursday. So if you or know anyone who would be of help, for whom that session would be helpful, please forward the details to them. Otherwise, have a good week. I think we had good participation today, which kind of justifies my weekly event rather than going twice a week. But I hope this adds more value onto you. And I would like to challenge you. I would like to still challenge you all to do something interesting for the next week, so that you do something intentionally interesting, as in, even if you don't want to do it, try it out and share the story with us. So next week you have something to talk to us rather than probably not talking at all, which kind of boosts the confidence of everyone else. All right. So I think that's that. Have a good week then. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great
Bye,
day.
everyone.
Thanks, Suresh.
Bye, everyone.